AM 106.5 FM and now 102.3 FM.
Hi, I'm a princess. Yay. And we got cute little dogs here from Izzy's two little doggies. But anyway, I hope you're all having a good day. Nice and warm outside. Went to a interesting, very fun actually, nursing home or retirement village, I guess it is. And for pet therapy, Izzy's involved with that. And it's so neat to see how they really respond. This one woman was holding on to that dog, and that meant a lot. Big hug.
Well, she said, it's nothing like a dog in my lap. And she was so happy to have the dogs in her lap. So she took turns with all the dogs, hugging them and holding them.
But really, you could see it really means a lot to them. A lot of them seem, kind of lonely. And
yeah.
So
And then, one of them, actually, she loves Dara. So if I would have left her there, she would have just been
still be with her.
Still with her. She'll be clinging on that dog. So
Dara is a cute little terrier.
Terry mix. Yeah, she's about 3.5 pounds.
She loves sleeping or staying in a bag, in any kind of bag that Izzy has. So she's there. And then Bentley, what kind of dog is he?
He's a Shih Tzu.
Shih Tzu, really nice guy. Both very intelligent and just want love. Who doesn't want love? That's enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, just got back from Las Vegas, and we're going to be doing kind of talking about Las Vegas and kind of the trip up there. A lot of interesting things have happened, and we had a lot of fun there. We went to the International Pizza Expo, and for beginners, what it is, it's 3 days actually, of nothing but anything to do with pizzas. We're talking every tomato sauce company, everybody who's got cheeses, flours, toppings, yeast, you name it. I mean, probably about 300-400 different vendors, ovens, yeah, everything, and very, very friendly people. Unlike any food show I've ever been to, they're just very, very friendly, and they're really caring. That's a good thing. They really want to help to bring the profession up, which I haven't seen in any other field like that. And then there's the competitors. Now, these are pizziolas from around the world. I'm literally from around the world. They're from Monaco was one. Australia he was there doing a kind of, what's the word, emceeing. But yeah, that, thanks, Joe. Anyway, that's for me. I felt like Rocky. I counted just now before we got on the air. I got probably 47, 48 different pizzas I judged in 2 days.
Wow.
We're talking 10 o'clock in the morning till 4:30 in the afternoon. 2 different styles. It was traditional, and it was pan pizzas. And pan pizzas are the thick Sicilian type pizzas, but they also had, which I think is fantastic. I think that's going to be the new big pizza, Detroit style pizza. And for those of you who've never had it, basically it's white cheddar cheese around a deep dish pizza.
Well, most of them use it has to be a high fat content cheese.
Right, so
because I've heard other people said other cheeses too. So
yeah, well, they had different mixtures, but the white cheddar, Wisconsin white cheddar block, that's what they use. And I just talked to Fonzie from Chicago Pasta House, and he agrees that it's fantastic. He has a friend of his who owns 2 brothers in San Diego. It's a Detroit style pizza restaurant, and that's what they sell. And he agrees that maybe he should be doing it. So I didn't tell Izzy she was out getting me a drink, but he invited us next week to possibly try 3 or 4 different ones.
Ooh.
And then he's thinking about putting it on a menu.
Oh, that would be fun.
And he said, does it have to be a square pan? Can it be in a round pan? I said, no, I think you could do it as long as it's,
it's deep
crusted.
enough to put it in, yeah.
So anyway, that's kind of fun. But yeah, our area is so depleted of restaurants. Running through Las Vegas, it's like every ethnicity in the world is there. The restaurant scene is incredible. And here in the Inland Empire, and I'm not knocking it too much, but it's like there are some good restaurants. Don't get me wrong.
I think it's coming along. I mean, I think the COVID kind of halts a lot of things because we were getting to up and coming kind of place, and then now after COVID, it slowed it down a lot. I think we did have a lot of more different diverse cuisine moving this way. I think a little bit more.
I hope so. I mean, it's incredible. Food is so important, especially in times of stress. You know, when you're angry, what do? You eat. When you're miserable, what do you do? When you're scared, what do? You eat. And yeah, the food scene in Vegas is absolutely incredible. I think it rivals any city, Chicago, New York. I mean, it's really scary how many restaurants there are. Mm-hmm. It's not just casinos. I mean, every block has so many. The Chinese, they have a little Chinatown there, and there's some great, fantastic Chinese restaurants there. And we found a couple of them. One is an
Asian, Korean, or
it's a Korean barbecue / sushi, and you can either get the sushi or you can get the Korean barbecue,
or both,
and it's like under $40 and really fantastic. And my friend Derek, he's from San Antonio, Texas. Him, his wife, and his partner, they've never had it, so we took them there. They went nuts. I mean, they were so excited. They couldn't believe all you can eat, and this is great food. And if you've never had a Korean barbecue, most of them, what it is, it's like hibachi at your table with.
But you cook it yourself. So if you don't like cooking, this might not be for you.
Yeah.
Unless you have somebody in your party that likes to cook, like Allan. So he likes to be a designated cook for the evening. Then, it's pretty good because you get to sit there and somebody's cooking for you and get fresh, hot, the stove.
Oh, you can get all kinds of that brisket, Wagyu beef. They had pork, all kinds of different
pork bellies and short ribs and beef tongue and all kinds of
and
stuff.
A lot of normal
filet
mignon,
octopus and there's like
shrimp. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean just all kinds of food and a lot of vegetables, and you just kind of put it on there, and it's a great way to socialize. I love it because
it's interactive.
You're there for 2 hours probably. Yeah, it's basically a lot of eating, and it takes time to cook, so you really don't fill up all at one time. It's over 2 hours normally. Then for dessert, this one place, it's called Biwon, Biwon. That's the name of the restaurant. But at the end of the meal, they give these great little bars. They're in a
that's a highlight for.
It's
so different.
Korean ice cream, basically.
Ice cream bar.
Yeah, but it's
like a popsicle.
But it tastes like melon. It's in between.
Like honeydew melon.
Yeah, it's so good.
So a creamy honeydew melon popsicle at the end of the meal. That was so refreshing.
And they're open till 2:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
2 a.m.
Yeah,
I think,
2 a.m. So a lot of people who work there, they go there afterwards because that's the other thing that's kind of disappointing, which I couldn't believe. A lot of the restaurants close at 9, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I think it's a COVID thing. It used to be so many more open late. And then I think COVID hit, and then, everything kind of shut down. And I don't think they're ramped up back to where they used to be. And then probably help doesn't want to stay, working late. So.
Yeah. But everything was, very, people weren't crowding or anything. Everything was separated with, 6 feet away. I mean, it was very clean and everything. Everything, they really do a good job of sanitizing everything. And I felt very safe. And even in the hotels, all the hotels and everything, it was, there's a few people that wore masks, but basically, except that all the staff wore masks. But other than that, it was very clean. And, a lot of people, they're still afraid to go out. And I really think as long as you take precautions and, if you see people being irresponsible, stay away from them. That's all. There was a couple of people who, we a little drunks here and there, a little tipsy, so we kind of stayed away from them. But Izzy had her first White Castle burger.
Yeah, never had it before. Have no idea. Hear all about it. See it in the frozen section. Not thrilled to. It's not like one of those things I'm like, I got to definitely go buy some in the freezer section and make it myself.
So of course, I ordered a bag of 10 of them. And she goes, 10? I'm not that hungry. We can't eat.
Yeah, I'm like, I just wanted one. He's laughing at me.
Let's wait. Anyway, we wound up eating 4 of them. They're very, very small, little, almost like
square.
Sliders. Yeah, smaller than regular sliders. But they're all steamed on grilled onions and a pickle. And I liked it. I thought it was, I thought they were fun. They're neat. How'd you like it?
Interesting.
Which means so-so?
It's okay, yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's a wow experience. I guess everybody should experience it once and say you've had it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't grow up on stuff like that, so I guess to a lot of people that's like home, right? That's what they grew up in, the childhood thing they ate or something. I don't know. Because I hear people raving about White Castle. I remember I visited, I think, Arizona one day for work. And they on the news they say, "Oh, White Castle open." And their line was like 2 hours.
They have them in Arizona?
They had to shut down for like an hour or something, or 2 hours, so they can revamp up, restocked and stuff, because it was so crowded, and because they never had one before. And I thought, oh, okay, I will never stand in line to do that. But this was no line. But
it was like Krispy Kreme when they came out to Ontario. Everyone was lined up forever, and once I ate it, it was like, it was okay. It was kind of puny donuts, but they're fresh, they're hot a little bit, and it was okay. Nothing spectacular. But it's funny how growing up with it. A friend of ours, she grew up on White Castle, so we brought her White Castles, and she went nuts. She loved it. She was like, "Oh my God, I haven't had one of these in 15, 20 years." So it's kind of funny.
Well, but like that's what I'm saying. It's the nostalgia. Like when you, as a child, if you ate it all the time, it reminds you of all those times, right? Because taste, smell, those things kind of triggers these good memories, of where you've been, what you did. So I bet that's more what that's about.
But it's funny because she was saying that she remembered when they were like 12, 15 cents each. And here they're like $1.20 or so.
They're tiny, and the patty is so thin. Maybe it's maybe
an ounce, maybe?
No, 2 centimeters. Maybe 2
Yeah.
centimeters. I mean, I can't. It's not even half an inch. Sorry, guys. It's literally like a quarter or
About
eighth
quarter
of an inch.
yeah.
Thick, and a square. It's about
2
inches by 2 inches.
3
patty.
inches by 3, I think. Yeah.
Something's 3 is
But
general.
the bun is real soft,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's. I could see it on a late night dining if you're really hungry. I think that's perfect. There was time, there's a couple of times we were starving, and we door dashed what was it, sandwiches, capriati's.
Capriati's.
Yeah, sandwiches. But that would have been a great one to have, to eat about 40 of those.
I don't know. I think it'll give me indigestion middle night.
Yeah, but pizza definitely filled me up. Those are 2 days. Again, it was pan pizza and traditional pizza. And traditional pizza
And
is
non-traditional. You did one
and
non-traditional.
I was a substitute, so non-traditional pizza, which means anything goes. And then the next day they had sandwiches. There was a new category. They started last year. And so I was chowing down about 10 sandwiches. And
God, that's a lot of carbs. I would be asleep.
I've eaten more carbs in those 3 days than I have in months. I mean,
that would knock me out.
But I've got to be honest to myself. It was a lot of walking I did. I walked to and from.
Not enough walking to
from
burn
the
off
hotel
that much
to
carbs.
to the convention center, and the hall was huge. It was a new South Hall, and very, very nice hall, and a lot of really nice place. A lot of nice areas. A lot of bathrooms there, which I liked, and I drank so much water in between the pizzas. But yeah, no. Every year I'm always the one that has the most pizzas, and they felt sorry for me this year. It's the first time ever they said, "Allan, take a break. You can't just sit there and eat." I'm like, but you just taste everything. That's the thing. Everyone thinks you eat a whole piece of pizza, but they come to the table, you look at it, you look underneath it, is it evenly baked, and then they cut you a small piece. And then you judge it by the sauce, by the toppings, by the crust, was it flavorful? Did everything go together? Was it visually appealing? There was a lot of them that were really interesting. One had a little gold flakes on top, and prosciutto and a bunch of different things on there. It was kind of hard to understand what the gentleman was saying. That's the thing. He kept asking me, what's the best one? And I can't remember them. There's so many of them.
It's a blur for you.
But some of them, there's one that had caviar, and he's from West Hollywood, and it's $100 for the pizza. And it was all his clientele are celebrities, and he does caterings and stuff. So he can get away with it, but Izzy's making a face. Yeah, it wasn't that good.
No, and the sauce I think is supposed to be like a béarnaise or some sort of sauce. Like it's creamy, but it was gritty. And I'm like, okay, no sauce in the world should be gritty on top of a pizza as a drizzle. And so it was like gritty, like almost sandy kind of texture. And then they had like veal and like, I think it was tuna or sashimi or something, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. The toppings didn't have a lot of flavor. And then, okay, if the toppings weren't wow, except for the caviar that they put on top, then you would think the dough would have been amazing. Well, the dough's okay. I think the bottom part of it was crispy, but the middle part was not airy like some of the other ones at the deep dish, because some of the deep dish were like airy in the middle, and it was so good. It was like, it was fluffy and light, and it's crispy. It's all at once. You hit all your senses. Well, this one wasn't. It was like really doughy and heavy, so it's like, it's okay. I mean, I wouldn't pay $100 for that pizza.
And then they had one that smelled really good. It had a lot of promise, but it was horrible. But this is a kind of creative touches to it. This is called the 70 SEVENTY 77, and it was white cheddar Mornay sauce with a mozzarella provolone blend, applewood bacon, buttermilk dredged chicken tenders that were fried, Belgian waffles, bourbon maple syrup, and with powdered sugar and butter crust. And it smelled really good, but it just didn't go. The bourbon was the only thing. There was a great bourbon, pancake type syrup, and I mean, I like that kind of stuff. It's just so unusual. And then there was the other one. They talk about. I mean, this is how complex it is. This is I don't remember what it was, but it had 72-hour cold fermentation dough.
The dough, yep.
It had 3 different flour blend, whipped garlic and chive cream cheese, grape tomatoes, shaved red onions, olive oil, Parmesan Reggiano. It was cooked at 700 degrees, and afterwards it came out of the oven and it was finished with cold smoked salmon lox, cracked black pepper, raspberry-infused white balsamic reduction with a pecorino romano fried capers all over it. And again, it looked good.
Okay, I'm trying to taste all that in my head, like, flavors.
Don't.
That's bizarre.
Yep.
I mean, and I'm pretty adventurous, but I'm trying to picture the raspberry with the smoked salmon.
Yeah, no. And then our friend Derek, he did one.
That was so good.
Do you remember it in detail?
Oh, yeah. He did this, a pork belly. It was it's a very, you can see different layers, almost like several layers of pork belly. They marinated it, and they smoked it, both. So it was tender, literally, when the minute it touched your mouth, it melts in your mouth like butter almost. But then they cubed it, so it's substantial. It wasn't shredded. Little cubes, so you can see all the layers, like little petit four on top of a pizza. Then he put fresh raspberries. He put what kind? It was like I think it's some sort of white.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it's a white cheese, or it's lightly. It's not even a lot. I think it's like some sort of schmear or something.
Just complement everything, yeah.
Yeah, and nothing. It was like a well balanced. The dough was fluffy. It's full of air. It looked like a honeycomb, right? And the drizzle was a raspberry reduction with this fresh raspberry, and he drizzled it on top. So sweet, it's savory, it's a little bit smoky, so it wasn't overwhelming. But then you'd bite into this crust, was crispy on the bottom, is fluffy in the middle. It was like, and then it had cubes of mozzarella, and he actually melted cubes of it. So there's little dabs of more concentrated cheese.
And on the pork belly, too, when you stuck it in the oven, it crisped up nicely.
Mm-hmm.
That was the other thing.
And it was lovely. I mean, it's phenomenal. I mean, it was like, okay, it's well balanced. It has all the flavors you can think of. It's salty, it's sweet, it's a little bit tangy. It was like, wow. Yeah. Blows my mind how good it was.
He won in the past, I think about 3 years ago.
He won quite a few times.
Well, I think he came in first and won in second and third,
Mm-hmm.
And this time he came in 8th out of 80, so that's still good. I mean,
that's still a win.
Oh, definitely
huge, yeah.
But this guy, he was awarded. Everyone thought so highly of him from this past experience that he was made into the Culinary Olympics, the U.S. pizza team. So he's been to Egypt, to Italy quite a few times, and he mentors a lot of people. They really go to him, and he's always striving, and all of them too are striving to have the best pizza. And once they get
and
the
it's
best
the
pizza,
dough. I mean, it's not just the toppings. It's not about the toppings.
no.
The toppings, yes, definitely. They want good quality, organic, and whatever toppings, and good tasting and well balanced. But it's the dough. It's a full-on science, and humidity in the air, how much, the pressure, the barometric
how much
pressure,
water, how much sugar,
hydration.
Hydration.
The hydration, how long to ferment the dough, how much of this type of dough, this type of flour. I mean, there's a whole science to this, and I didn't understand that. You think if you have never had like this wow pizza before and see the process, you wouldn't understand there's a huge science thing behind it, because they have to, they ferment the dough. It rises overnight like a glob.
It's almost like Edison. They strive to make it better. Just when they think, aha, the perfect one, they go, okay, we want something better than that.
Well, actually, they said they actually set the alarm clock. Will check on the dough every couple hours, and they'll tag team like different shifts.
3 in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. Somebody will go in there, check on the dough, knead it a little bit, do whatever they need to with the dough and put it back and let it rest. And I'm just like, wow, it's like having a baby. I mean, this dough is like having a newborn.
They're very passionate, very serious. They have a lot of seminars, so it's a wealth of knowledge. A lot of first-timers that go there. And if you own a pizzeria, then you've got to go. I mean, it's really going to help you to regenerate ideas, and the creativity factor is amazing. But the camaraderie is just, it's incredible. I mean, these are people who compete like you wouldn't believe. However, they'll help you out if you need help. They have something called Bullen Beer, where, they free beer, free appetizers. And it's a big giant hall, and basically pass around a microphone. And, hey, my name's Allan. I have a pizzeria in Redlands, and I'm looking for an insurance company. Who can I get? Whatever. And they help each other out. And that's what's so neat. Then one night they have it's called a block party, where they have all kinds of food, all kinds of beverage, alcohol beverages, whatever you want. It's all free. And they have Pizza Olympics. And these are people who do gymnastics with pizza dough, twirling
while
it.
They're twirling. So they're actually, it's a whole show with music, choreograph, and like they get judged on, their dexterity, their creativity, their choreograph, and then, does it go with the music and their costume? It blows your mind, the amount of stuff that they have. And you watch these people, you're like, wow. And these people all own their own pizzeria, So there's not like they are just some amateur that comes in and tossing things around.
No.
I mean, these people actually work. This is their business. This is what they love to do. And then they end up adding on to this extra, skill set, tossing dough.
They have that. They have also, we didn't go to them, but they have like making the most, putting together the most boxes. They have making a whole, pizza, making it in tandem, the fastest one who can do that. They have a lot of different skill level ones. But then the one we went to, it was just gymnastics and everything. And there's a lot of women there, a lot of women competitors. And that's the other thing that really impressed me I've been doing this for 9 years now. And it's amazing the amount of women that are coming up, women chefs who are becoming pizziolas, and just really, really good. They take it so seriously. And there's one woman who I actually judged her pizza when she won. She's from Italy, spoke very little English. It's the first time she was competed. She won. And she's now living in Vegas. And I judged with her. Izzy, you met her. Mm-hmm. And she has an incredible food truck that's the size, it's like an 18-wheeler. It's huge. And yeah, Izzy didn't see it, but it was like, oh my God. But these people are so serious about the trade, and it's all about the craft. What's the name?
And they want to pass it on to newbies. That's what really impressed me, because usually, in most businesses, everybody feel like they're competitors. They don't want to spread their knowledge to somebody else. And it seems like they all want to share their knowledge and their passion with somebody else, somebody that's starting out in the business, and kind of mentor them so they can be successful in their business, you know? So it's really interesting to see that. I mean,
it's amazing too. We're talking African Americans, we're talking the Asians, we're talking Hispanics, we're talking, I mean, just it runs the gambit.
Oh, there was somebody competed from Canary Islands.
He won, by the way.
Canary Islands?
His division, he won.
No.
I forgot to tell you that, yeah.
He flew, so Canary Islands is a little island off the coast of Spain. So imagine how far he had to travel to come and compete, right? So he's one of the competitors on, I think, a non-traditional or traditional.
Non-traditional.
Yeah. And, you know, he was up there talking about pizza because they have the MC go around asking people, okay, as they're making their pizza, what do you put in it? What do you think? You know, why did you do? Where are you from? Kind of thing. And it's just really neat. You're like, Canary Islands, wow, that's a long way to travel, you know, to get there to compete. So it's pretty exciting to see people are so, you know, it really brings everybody from all around the world together because they have one common goal. It's to make a better pizza.
They were so thrilled that they won. I mean, this is a small little island. And they had Italians there who compete too, but I mean, everyone they gained a lot of respect. Mm-hmm. And then they have the best of the best and a cook-off and everything. And the winners get $25,000 each one. So
wow.
Each division, traditional, non-traditional pan pizza, and Napolitana, they have them all four of those people basically compete against each other, the best of the best. Mm-hmm. And this year, the guy from Italy won Napolitana pizzas. He won.
Oh,
and
wow.
They were like, oh, it was so, he was crying. It was just so neat. And, but I'll tell you, it was just the passion. That's what really got me in. I don't think I've ever seen so many hugs in my life. Mm-hmm. I mean, I introduced Izzy.
I think everybody cheers for each other.
But even if I introduced Izzy, gotta hug her. Everyone's got to hug. And
I think it's the culture of the pizza, you know? Like, it's not a food that most people don't buy big pizza and sit there and eat by themselves. Usually you share it with somebody, right? It's a good sharing food. Right. I think that's what it is, you know, very family style kind of thing.
And then with the sandwiches, this one gentleman, I mean, a lot of them were really good. Some were just boring, plain paninis, just nothing. I couldn't understand it. But it was, you know, some of them had their own baked bread, artisan breads, and you tasted that. It was like amazing. But one of them, probably the most unusual one, he was married in Italy, him and his wife, and they have street foods there, and he had something like it there, and he wanted to add his own touches to it, but he wanted to recreate it. And it was called a pistachio focaccia, and it was like 40% natural casing, I guess it says. I don't quite understand that, but they had little cards, and a lot of them you can't read. But it was aioli with roasted pistachios, pistachio pesto, and it was very different flavor. Preserved lemon, mortadella with pistachios, candied pistachios. So they all have different elements, so tangy, sweet. You know, that was so neat. Then they had fontina cheese, which kind of brought it to a different level, kind of melted everything together. And then there was a lemony, arugula, and fresh mint, along with basil, fresh basil. And they didn't win, but wow. I mean, and then each of the pistachios, he soaked the pistachios to get rid of the brown covering, so it became more green. And what he did was, with the soaking water, the water was a little green, so he used the green water, the pistachios, to mix with the flour.
Wow.
So the results were
a green dough.
Yeah, very thin. It was maybe a quarter of an inch, not even a half inch, but you tasted that. And
I liked it. Yeah. I thought it was very unique. I mean, I'm not really a huge sandwich person, but it have to be darn good for me. That much carbs in me. That was phenomenal. I liked it. I really liked it because it wasn't heavy, and it wasn't a lot of dough, but it was enough where you can taste the pistachios.
It was street food,
it was like the cheese was gooey, so it was just the right balance because nothing was overwhelming another flavor. So because the cheese was so neutral that it didn't take over the pistachios flavor.
Right, but I just thought it was overkill pistachios, but it was very creative.
Oh, if you like pistachios,
we've all
that's
like,
a
wow,
winner.
that's really creative. So,
yeah.
What else? In terms on the floor, the different vendors, a lot of protein, plant-based proteins were there, from pepperoni to meat. I mean, a lot of ones. We're going to have them on the show here and we'll get some samples and do some taste testing there. But
of course, I hadn't tasted anything, so that will be a blind taste test.
Yeah, but very, very good stuff. I mean, it's come a long way. Then there's cheeses. It's incredible, the plant-based cheeses.
Well, we've had them on our show.
Well, the one company, he was there. It's kind of neat.
Oh, how funny.
We've had him on our show like 4 or 5 times.
Good Planet.
And we saw him there, so he was glad to see each other. But the nice thing was these things melted really. They had a regular where you tasted it, and they all had a nice flavor profile to it. And then when you melt it, they came out really, gooey and like regular cheese. And for those who have heart problems or diabetes or want to just eat healthy, that's a great alternative. They really tasted good, and I was just very shocked. So we're going to have a lot of those those products on, and probably the highlight was a company called Caputo, and they specialize. They're a milling company from Napoli, Italy. And you talk about flour. There's so many different flours. They probably had
there's a catalog.
12 different ones.
I had no idea there's a catalog for flours.
It's all
different types of flour for different types of products you make. Like I was reading one of them, and it says, well, this is ideal for for making pastas or desserts, right? And then there's another one that says, well, this one is ideal for, somebody that want to cold ferment their dough.
Yeah, for low rehydration. I mean, everything.
I mean, it has all this science behind it, and it's like, it blows my mind because, you think flour, like growing up, you see flour, gold medal, flour, flour's flour, who knows?
Unbleached, bleach.
Right, you think that's all there is, wheat and that, and, that's flour. But there's so much different types. I mean, like literally, it's a fold-out catalog.
And of course, they had all the winning chefs, on the Olympic team, U.S. Pizza Olympic team, were making them. They rotated.
Oh, there's like pizzas. There's everywhere. Pizza at every station.
So as you're walking around, there's pizza. Every vendor has their own pizzas and pasta sauces and everything. And
tomatoes. And yeah. I mean, there was no shortage of food.
Unfortunately, it's only open for people in the profession. If it wasn't, this thing would be...
swamped.
Millions of people,
People would be lining up.
Yeah.
All the homeless people would be lining up, too, because, I mean, there's just so much food around.
Yeah, and of course, at the end, they give everything away, so... Good old Allan, I was walking by and, here, take it this. You got to have some cheese. You got to, I'm like, but I'm walking. Anyway, I had, 5-pound bag of cheese and the 2-pound, and I had about 15 pounds of products. And I could have taken olive oil and, everything. And I was like, no, I can't walk it. I can't do it. But anyway, it was quite an experience. So on the way home, we decided, let's just have an leisurely drive. And, we stopped at, again, White Castle. Izzy never had that. And then Izzy, something called Eddie World. It's in off of Calico.
Yerma,
but it's off of Calico Road. And it's a very interesting place. And every time we go there, we thought they were closed, but they open till 12. We didn't know that.
Well, you don't know. You're in the middle of nowhere, like a desert, Mojave. You're driving through Mojave.
Yeah.
And then you see this... like a snow cone or a cupcake or a ice cream cone looking structure off the side of the freeway. And you're like, okay, well, it has to be closed in the middle of the night. Well, it's not. Well, anyways, we decide, okay, we got to make it one time, at least go check out. Because I've heard people go visit it before and thought it was neat. And so I'm like, okay, I got to go check it out.
So we did. And wow, it was
more food.
It was amazing. They had every kind of candy you can imagine. I mean, it's like Hadley gone wild. I mean, Hadley's on steroids. I mean, I've never seen so many nuts and licorices and you name
all
it.
Around
they have
the world.
It. Yeah.
I mean, it's like stuff that's very, like there's a whole section that's like Japanese, I think.
Yeah.
And all the Japanese like sealed up stuff, imported. There's stuff that I've never seen before. Like there's like this veggie section, right? So it must be they fried it or toasted. I don't know.
Eggplant.
There's eggplant. There's tomatoes. There's beets. And, I've had beets before.
We've seen some of those,
yeah. But I've never seen eggplant or tomatoes before,
no.
Yeah.
Then they had a lot of gummy bears and stuff, but they
put a twist on it.
There was a twist. Tell them about that one.
Well, there's some that put the Teichin,
yeah.
whatever, the sprinkle, the lime,
lime and chili spices.
Yeah. So there's chamoy. There's there's tons of sour belts with chamoy. There's little gummy bears chamoy,
and they were delicious.
Yeah. There's all kinds of gummies with different variety. There's some that has salt on it. Some of them has a chili powder on it. I was just like, wow. I mean, talk about thinking outside the box.
Well, they were thinking outside the world. Then they have a big ice cream parlor there. They make their own ice creams. They have a vendor there who rents out space there, who does beef jerkies and all kinds of jerkies, and emu jerkies and ostrich jerky
and rabbit,
really unusual stuff.
Yeah,
and
yak.
Then they have some pizzas there, all fresh pizzas. They were at the show. I missed them. I didn't know about them, but they had two wood burning ovens in there, and they make their own sauces, dough. Everything's fresh there. So it's quite an experience. I mean, if you have kids, you got to go. Even if you don't have kids, it's fun. There are nice gas stations there with a lot of pumps and stuff.
And the bathrooms are really clean. Yeah. More like a Buc-ee's.
And the prices are very good, too. If you've never been to Buc-ee's, it's like the largest
gas pumps, toilets.
They have everything there in Texas and around those states there. But very, very interesting thing, really good. The other thing that we had, I think, is very important is if you like bagels, and a lot of people over the years have asked me a good Jewish deli. And, there's Sherman.
None around us.
Well, there's Sherman's in Palm Springs. There's a couple in Palm Springs, but around the area, there's really nothing. Mm-hmm. But we found right near the hotel where we were staying at, we saw something called
Bagel Mania.
Beautiful, giant. I mean, really large.
It's a life-size everything bagel.
Yeah. And outside, to show it. But inside, it's beautiful. It's large. It's airy.
It's kind of... To me, it reminds me of that, not Art Deco, but that 50s kind of look.
It's kind of retro. They have
retro look, but with the new pop of new, fixtures and stuff like that.
And big murals of old Las Vegas. And then as you go to the restrooms, they have all pictures and everything. And in the restrooms, it's like newspaper clippings of, Bugsy Siegel. It's called Siegel's.
Oh, no. The women only had, the women's bathroom is all flamingos.
Oh, that's all? Okay.
Yeah, the wallpaper of flamingos.
Well, the men's bathroom was all newspapers, all around, wallpapers and stuff. And
oh, cool.
It was all retro stuff. But they have a gigantic deli section there where they make their own bagels. And I thought they were probably some of the best bagels I've ever had. Real chewy, very, very good in terms of quality. The everything bagel, usually you only get the top with all the seeds on it. They had the bottom and the top of the bagel.
And 3 different types of everything.
Yeah, they have wheat.
Whole wheat,
egg, and plain.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have something called the floppy, everything floppy. And basically it was like a squish pancake, but it was huge. I mean, a squish bagel, but it was probably 6 inches, 8 inches around. It's like a flying saucer.
It looks like a thicker pizza.
Yeah, but it was really neat. And but it was the same consistency as a bagel, and they only make one type, and it was a cheddar cheese.
They made 2. I think when they were out of one of them.
Well, the one we had was a cheddar cheese with jalapeno, and oh man, it was so good. Put cream cheese on top of that, toasted everything. But they were probably some of the best bagels, so I highly recommend it. It's called Bagel Mania.
Yep, it's right by the Las Vegas Convention Center.
Yeah. On
the Convention Center Drive.
Yeah, unbelievable. So anyway, that was 4 days worth. We were there for 5 days and four nights and 5 days, and
many
nonstop
food.
Eating.
Yeah, nonstop.
But anyway, I want to tell you about a few sponsors. We have a guest calling in about 5 minutes. Again, if you're involved with in a divorce, it can be an extremely stressful time for you and your family's life. And having a trusted and professional family law attorney on your side, especially, to help you through this troubled time is especially important. Bowler & Bowler, located in Redlands, is the Inland Empire's premier family law practice that specializes in divorces, prenuptial agreements, spousal support issues, same-sex marriages, child support, or even non-marital relationships and paternal issues. With over 45 years of family law experiences, Toby and his son, Sean Bowler, understand that clients often have many questions, and communicating with the clients is an important part of their practice. Both attorneys make it a point to be the best advocate for you and treat each client as if they were their own family. And I mean, it makes a big difference. You're not just another person. Bowler & Bowler family law staff are also very helpful, very knowledgeable, professional, and they're there to help you too. If they said they're going to find out and call you back, they do. That's why Bowler & Bowler has earned the reputation for professionalism and excellence in family law.
Well, call Bowler & Bowler Family Law Firm at 909-335-4848. Once again, it's 909-335-4848. Bowler & Bowler Family Law Firm. And the website is Bowler & Bowler, BOWLER&AND, Bowler, BOWLER.com. That's bowlerandbowler.com.
Now, if you're getting through divorce too, it can be real stressful. And when you're stressed, I don't know about you guys out there, but I eat no matter what. But I go, and I love Chinese food. That's probably my favorite one, favorite cuisine I think of all. And one of my favorite, Chinese restaurants in the area, it's called Roy's. I always mispronounce it. Roy's. RUI''S. That's named after their son. Shanghai Bistro. It's in Redlands. It's almost next to DMV on Lagonia in Redlands. And they offer the largest and most delicious, authentic array of traditional and original Chinese dishes in the Inland Empire, for sure. Some of my favorites are the house-made pot stickers.
Easy for you to say, because you're salivating.
I know. Crisp pork spare ribs with garlic. Their unique spicy lamb with bamboo. The sweet and tangy deep-fried orange peel beef, which you've never had until I turned you on to it. Now, all the time you go there, you got to eat it. General Tso chicken and a savory basil spicy shrimp, plus lots of vegetarian items. Whether you dine in, pick up the food, or enjoy the food at home, or you have them cater your next party or occasion, you will see why Roy's. Quit laughing so hard. Roy. R-U-I, it's hard. Roy's spelled R-U-I. Shanghai Bistro is truly the best Chinese restaurant in the Empire. Their website is Roy's, R-U-I, Shanghai. Why don't you do this?
It's RUIS SHANGHAI BISTRO.net. Ray's ShanghaiBistro.net.
It's hard. It's a tongue twister.
Yep. RUIS Shanghai SHANGHAI Bistro.net.
We're professionals. Don't try this at home.
That's Roy's ShanghaiBistro.net.
We owe them a lot. Well, we'll have to have them on the air.
I know, we should. Well, because every time we talk about their food, I'm salivating.
I mean,
I'm literally thinking about the pork dumplings and the rice cakes and everything.
And we haven't eaten all day, so we're starving.
Oh, I know. I'm starving.
And our last sponsor, who we really, really appreciate, Soaring Swine Acres. Now, this is a small company, and they're located right here in Yucaipa, and they make over 300 delicious tasting and unique jams, jellies, honeys, sauces, pickled products, and their new Voodoo Queen holistic teas that you can't find anywhere else but there. They do a lot of fun things. She's from Louisiana, from New Orleans, Nolens. And she's a lot of fun, Mary. And you can visit Soaring Swine Acres in Yucaipa, smallest store off of California. Or you can
It's not that small.
Well, it seems like it's growing and growing.
Yeah,
more things in there.
There's a lot of products in there.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff there. And you can purchase their products, or you can go there or on the website, Soaring, SOARING, swineacres.com, and then savor such delicious items. This becomes the best part of the show. I get to talk about them. Rosemary pear jelly, ginger orange jam. Let that concentrate in your brain a little bit. Cherry chili jam. This one, smoked apple. I feel like a transition. It's, what's it called? Relaxing music. You hear music. Smoked apple jelly. We need relaxing music over this. Plus so many other
music.
Meditation. I was gonna say they make great gifts for the holidays. Well, it's just for birthdays or just to show appreciation for anybody you like. And again, if you want to just please your taste buds, again, Soaring Swine Acres in Yucaipa.
Yeah, and we definitely use these products. I definitely use it and give it away as gifts. I use it myself on the daily basis.
And you can cook with them. There's so many things you can do.
Oh, I know. And you really make a plain chicken breast can very exciting because it's all these different flavors.
Yep. So, want to give details one more time?
SoaringSwineAcres.com is SoaringSwineAcres.com. Oh, jeez, what a day.
We haven't
My
eaten. We're
phone
hungry.
fell. So sorry about that. SoaringSwineAcres.com.
Okay, now that we butchered the three sponsors of our show, well, now comes
I think people will remember them, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So now we're going to talk about some great nutrition. This month is National Nutrition Month. And with us is Dine Dessazy. He's a team member from it's called New Barn Organics. We're not butchering that one. And welcome to Let's Sign Out show, Dine.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah, my pleasure. So why don't you talk a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself and talk about, again, National Nutrition Month.
Yeah, so March is National Nutrition Month. So we just really want to highlight the joy that can come from celebrating nutrition when lots of us sort of think that we have to sacrifice taste or flavor or something fun to eat for nutrition. And so I'm calling from New Barn Organics. We specialize in organic, dairy-free products and also regenerative organic certified eggs. So it's a very, very cool brand and lots of heart and passion behind it.
Yeah, and that's a section of foods and stuff that's really, we just got back from the Pizza Expo in Las Vegas, and there were so many plant-based cheeses and meats and products. I mean, a lot more than I've ever seen. And there's a lot of good, and they're all really good. That's the thing. You can't say one was better than the other. They're all delicious. And I know your products are really good, too. And what are some of the convenient and healthy food options that we should consider for National Nutrition Month?
Yeah, so I think you're spot on, right? So plant-based is huge right now. And so when you're looking at things like dairy-free or plant-based, you want to really go for flavor, for taste, because sometimes they just don't hit the mark quite as well. So you're going to look for mouthfeel and taste. And so for New Barn and other non-dairy milks, you're going to kind of look for mouthfeel and what can you incorporate into recipes easily. So I would say if you're looking for a couple ways to supplement your pantry with easy to reach for nutritional pantry or fridge staples, look for non-dairy milks first and maybe some non-dairy cheeses. But that should get you started in a lot of your recipes, and you'll sort of get a feel for what you like substituting most. That's a personal preference.
And, a lot of people think you got to be a vegan to enjoy this stuff, and no. I mean, anyone who just wants to eat healthier or, balance it out. If you're going to have meat and all that good stuff, have that too, but incorporate it in your life, maybe cut back a little bit. And again, these products taste good. If they were awful, I can say, first I wouldn't have you on the air if they were awful, but that's important. I think people should be open to try it, and especially with milks and everything. And with New Barn Organics, they have quite a few products. And let's talk about them a little bit.
Yeah, no, Allan, you are absolutely right. So what a lot of us do with a flexitarian diet, so you're not quite vegetarian, not quite vegan. Maybe you eat meat some days of the week, but you're kind of testing maybe the vegetarian or vegan lifestyle, a meal or two here or there. That's really an interesting way to dabble in this, and it can be for taste, it can be for health, it can be for the environment. But if you find a plant-based or a non-dairy brand like New Barn that you really love and trust, then you're going to look for things like our almond milks, our coconut milks. We also have a buttery spread that's coming out, and so it's just it's products like this that you just add them to your fridge and you make your favorite recipes with them, and you can kind of forget that you even have a substitute in there. Again, it's just the flavor is spot on, the mouthfeel is great, and so it's just a really great way to kind of dabble a little bit.
Yeah, if you've never had almond milk's incredible. I mean, I live on almond milk, and there are a lot of low carb cereals out there, and I have a bowl of cereal, and first of all, they're crunchier than heck, so it takes forever to eat it. And when you refrigerate almond milk, it tastes like regular milk. I mean, I dare someone to say it's not as good. I mean, it's really excellent. I mean, there's all kinds of new products out there, and again, it's not just a glass of milk with peanut butter sandwich. I mean, a lot of recipes you can incorporate it in there from whether baking or whatever, and
I saw curry.
Yeah.
Yum. And then I just saw recipe says creme brulee. I didn't know you can make creme brulee out of almond milk. I'm kind of excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really delicious. And, you know, so another one of the New Barn Organics products that I personally love is the organic Barista almond milk. So it's really great in your coffees. It's going to be really great if you're
Is it richer?
Enjoying it. And
what's the difference between that and just regular almond milk?
Yeah, so it's richer. It steams well. If you're adding it to your coffee, Ellen, like you said, your almond milk, you can't taste the difference when it's refrigerated. So the Barista almond milk that we have is just going to be a really great way to supplement your coffee addiction, or if you're a big coffee drinker, it's so good.
Wow. You know, you get your products at Sprouts, Whole Foods, Bristol Farms, a lot of independents, and on the website they have all the information. Great recipes. That's what I really like about it. It's newbarnsorganic.com, or barn rather, newbarnorganics.com. And now you guys have come a long way when you first started. And again, having just come back from a convention, or pretty much I call it a convention, there's so many plant-based products on the horizon, but just right now that are fantastic. Not just good, but fantastic. I didn't have one dog there. I mean, I was like, whoa, this is really good stuff. So we're going to be having them on our show too. But yeah, this company, now how long has it been around?
So we've been around for a handful of years now. We have come a long way. It's been quite a journey, and I would say the most exciting project that we've worked on recently is our regenerative eggs. So pretty soon you'll see those in stores near you as well. That's such an important topic, talking about how are we not just protecting the earth when we're taking eggs from our hens or other ingredients from the earth, but how are we actually giving back and feeding the soil so that we have a more sustainable system. And so, yeah, you're right. New Barn Organics has just come such a long way, and it's very cool to be on a team with other people that are just as passionate about the food industry.
Well, passion is one thing that we've been around between pizza makers and even the vendors there. Passionate about their products. Every product had a story behind it, and it all started with it was just passion. They saw a need for it, and they went out and developed it, and that amazes me. I mean, the creativity is just incredible. So again, it's newbarnorganics.com, and again, they have all the information on there. And down there,
recipes. There's tons of good recipes. I'm really surprised of some of the stuff you can make with, because you didn't think of almond milk making some of these things. So I'm kind of excited.
Well, we had almond. We saw at this place we just were at, but we didn't try it. But almond milk ice cream. So Izzy doesn't know it, but I'm going to get a book on just making non-dairy ice creams. I love
CAA.